Today, we're diving into a really wild prediction about the future of work. I mean, one that totally challenges the whole idea of earning a living. So, what if we're all hurtling toward a future where human labor is basically worthless?
Yep, that's the claim, right there. It's the heart of the argument we're exploring today. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But the idea here is that this future isn't just some far-off possibility. It's already being built. So how in the world could we get there?
Well, according to the source material, this whole thing doesn't start with some big bang, world-changing event. Nope. It kind of sneaks in quietly, with a revolution that's already happening on the streets of a major American city.
That's right, Austin, Texas. The starting pistol for this whole economic earthquake is the robotaxi. And look, I get it. It seems like a pretty small thing, right? Just a niche service in one city. But this is being presented as the very first domino to fall, the moment AI starts to physically replace a huge category of human work.
So this one development is predicted to set off a huge chain reaction. The argument is that what starts with a handful of taxis in Austin is not going to stay in Austin. It's seen as the beginning of the end for one of the world's biggest industries as we know it.
And check this out, the timeline for this is incredibly fast. We're right here, right now, with robotaxis driving around Austin. The source says the very next step is mass production kicking off around 2026, and from there, it's just a matter of a few years before the entire transportation industry is turned on its head, getting rid of millions of driving jobs all over the world. Okay, so self-driving cars, that's a huge deal for sure. But believe it or not, that's just the warm-up act. The next piece of tech coming down the pike is what's predicted to really truly sever the link between human beings and physical work.
And that next step is called physical AI. So what are we talking about? We're talking about humanoid robots, kind of like the ones you see in those development videos that can walk around, learn, and actually do stuff in the real world. This isn't just software in the cloud, it's AI with hands and legs.
So once these humanoid robots are commercialized, once you can actually buy them, the prediction is that we'll see a super fast disappearance of human labor from almost every part of our lives. We're not just talking about factories anymore. We're talking about tasks in our homes and a huge chunk of all the service and manual jobs that form the backbone of our economy.
And this all leads to the most profound and frankly the most challenging question of all. If machines can do pretty much any physical task a human can, what happens to the value of our work?
This central argument is kind of brutal. As physical AI gets everywhere and becomes way cheaper than a human worker, the economic value of our labor just plummets towards zero. I mean, think about it from a business perspective. Why pay a person when a robot can do the job 24/7 for just the cost of electricity? It's a really stark economic reality to face. And let's be clear, this goes way beyond just unemployment. This could rewrite the fundamental rules of the game. For centuries, the basic deal has been simple. You sell your time, your skills, your labor, in exchange for money to live. But what happens if your labor has no value? The whole concept of the economy has to change.
So, if working for a living isn't the main way to get by anymore, what is? Well, the source doesn't just drop this problem on us and walk away. It proposes a really radical new way to think about how we get income.
And the new model is a complete flip. It's a pivot away from getting paid for what you do and toward getting paid for what you own. In the past, your income came from your job. In this new future, the argument is that your income will come from owning a piece of the new means of production.
So what are these new means of production? It's the robots. It's the AI systems, the companies that build and control them, the whole shebang. The argument is that to have an income in this future, you need to own shares in those companies, your stock portfolio that literally becomes your new source of basic income.
And that leaves us with this final, massive question. As we're standing right on the edge of this crazy new era, are we really watching the end of work as the center of our economy? Is the future of prosperity found not in what you can do, but in what you can own?